actually set traps for us. Some things will attempt to distract us. There are those who criticize your good works. I have a friend who will not go to any movies that use the Lord's name in vain or have any foul language in them. Do you know what that probably means for him?
He doesn't see any movies.
He very rarely does he see a movie. Believe me, he's very appreciative of, like he said, I'm appreciative of bad Christian movies, because at least, even those I can go and see. But a lot of Christians have criticized him for it. Okay? And that's what they'll tell him. Well, I guess you don't go see any movies, huh? And he's like, pretty much. But he doesn't feel the need to either. Because so they criticize him. Some people, we've seen it in churches, I'm sure. You take a stand, other Christians will turn against you even. It's sad, but we can't let that stop it. It can be disheartening, yes. But we must continue, regardless of what we face, to be faithful to God. It is easy. I'm going to tell you right now, it's easy to become tired of doing good. It really is. It can get tiresome at times. I know, John, if I can use you for an example, I know it probably gets tired of hearing people call you, ask for money. Okay? Especially people who assume you give money just like you're growing it on trees or something. Okay? But it's not profitable for us to give up doing good. Giving up is not really an option for the true child of God. Don't get tired or don't fail at that. Don't give up doing good. Why? See, we can say, well, because God said so, right? And that should be all we need. But I love that God gives us more than what we need, right? He says here through the Apostle Paul, let us not get tired of doing good, for we will reap at the proper time if we don't give up. I cannot help but wonder how many times myself, you, others, we have given up just before we were going to reap the harvest. Just before, okay? So I'm going to ask you some personal questions for the church here. We've been on this self-isolation, shelter-at-home thing for over a week now, right? Almost 2 weeks, really. Some of us are not meeting with us, and that's okay. And those of us that are meeting, we're not meeting as often, nor are we meeting as long. We can't go shopping for fun, right? We can't go to movies. We can't go to concerts. We can't go to sporting events. Some of us can't go to work. So with all the extra time, are we reading our Bibles more? Are we praying more? Are we sharing our faith more? Online, I should say, or through text or whatever, so however the way we can. Are we studying the Word more? Because we have what? Time. We have more time, right? We're not some of us aren't. And even at the church here, we're not as busy. So the time you would spend coming to the church, at the very least, you have that extra time to do these things. Last week, we stated that we knew that during this crisis, we would need to share our church and what she is doing more, especially with social networking and reaching out to one another more. So the question I have is, have we? Again, it can't be, if we haven't, it can't be for a lack of time. I'll tell you what our church page stats are, okay? The first part of the sermon from last week, because it had to be broken down in 2 parts, okay? The first part of the sermon from last week reached 194 people. That's a big reach, okay? It reached those people. Oh, by the way, it had what's called an engagement rate of 50. Here's the difference. The people it reaches are the people who watched it, they clicked on it. And they watched at least part of it. The engagement are the people who clicked on it and watched the whole thing, okay? Because there's a difference. You and I both know, any of us have Facebook, we know. We see a video, we might click on it, we don't always watch the whole thing, right? So, 194 reach, an engagement of 50. Now, there were only like 8 people here last week. But 50 people saw that sermon, the first part of it. Okay? Part 2 reached 140 and had an engagement of 21. So I don't know, maybe the part 1 people didn't know there was a part 2, or something I said in part 1 offended people, they didn't watch part 2, I don't know. But still, it reached a lot of people, okay? It reached more people than what was here. You want to know how many members shared it? That have Facebook. Only the ones that have Facebook. You remember me telling you the stats of our Facebook? There are 7 people in our church as adults that are actively on Facebook. Okay? It was shared by 3. One person shared it twice. They shared it specifically to another person, and then they shared it in general on their page. So first I want to say a huge thank you to all those who have been sharing about our church on Facebook, and those who don't have Facebook. Like Dick says, he's giving out my card all the time. I'm sure John, when he's asked about church and stuff, he talks about our church. So, I know that thank you to those who are sharing both on and off social media, okay? But if I'm honest, it was a little disheartening to hear how little it was shared right after we made a commitment to step up our game. It is less than half of the adults who regularly use Facebook that did the sharing. Now, there's a lot of reasons for this, maybe. Sometimes we just forget. For example, I just realized right now I forgot to call Brenda. I was supposed to call her at the beginning of the sermon, and I forgot. Okay? So I'll have to call her and apologize. All right? We get busy. We might have, maybe they watched it, because most of the people that I know of that didn't share it, they actually liked it. They clicked the like on it, so I know they saw it. Okay? But maybe they clicked the like on it, and they were going to share it, and they didn't. It happens. Okay? It happens. But what I want to make sure is that we haven't started to give up already. Okay? If we've started to give up on this right out of the gate, what will happen if this thing drags on for 2 or 3 months, like the governor says? Okay? And I'll be honest, this whole thing is new to me. I'm having a more difficult time being intentional about sharing on social media. 2 reasons. One, I'm not used to doing it a lot. And number 2, because when I share a sermon, or even I've done it 3 times, I did one this morning. 3 times I was able to do a live Facebook feed on my phone, where I just film myself while I'm talking. Okay, it goes right on Facebook right then. I always re-listen to it because I want to make sure I didn't say something stupid. Or, I want. This may sound gross, but I want to make sure there's not a big booger hanging out of my nose, so I know next time. Make sure you check those things, whatever. And I don't like looking at myself or hearing myself. And so all that kind of plays into it, okay? But forgive me for not doing more myself, okay? I started out with a bang the first of the week, but I kind of ended with a whimper on it, okay? But hopefully this next week will be, as I get more used to doing it, I'll do it more as well. Maybe that's just the case for most of us. We just have to get used to doing this, okay? So Paul says, let us not get tired of doing good, for we will reap at the proper time if we don't give up. And then he goes on to say, therefore, as we have opportunity, let us work for the good of all, especially for those belonging to the household of faith. So that's the question we have to ask ourselves. Is the opportunity here? Do we have opportunity in this restrictive, semi-quarantine, stay-at-home order state that we're living in? Do we still have opportunity to do good? Absolutely. Again, social media has given us that opportunity. Those, John and David and Doug are still somewhat out. John and David especially are still somewhat out in society. People are coming to them. And I understand, John's a little different because he owns his own business. So he can do in some ways whatever he wants to do, okay? If he wants to tell people about Jesus all day long, he can do that. A little bit different with David because he's got an employer. But still at different times, I'm sure he's able to share some about the church and talking with customers and different things. So if the opportunity is here, let's seize the opportunity. Let's not let this opportunity slip through our fingers. Yes, we're maybe being forced to do something we're not used to do because we're not left with any other options. But that's just simply the opportunity we have. And again, I'll be honest with you here. I have great concern that when this is all said and done, our church might not be stronger for it, she might be weaker for it. I do have concern that we won't be larger for it, we'll be smaller for it. But I don't believe it has to be that way. Because again, church is not the building, the people are. But when we reach out that way, we are being the church. So let's be the church in whatever situation we find ourselves in. Do we have opportunity here? Yes. So what should we do? Well, Paul tells us. Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us work for the good of all. So we should work for the good of all. And I love that because that means we're not just working. This isn't just about Little Rican Baptist Church. Okay? This isn't just about the church at all. At large, I mean. Okay? It's not about the church at large. It's not just about the church around the world in that sense. It's one post with 3 shares reached almost 200 people. 50 people actually watched the entire thing. What would happen if 7 people shared it? How many then might it reach? You know, I don't know. I can't say for sure because I've not crunched the numbers if it would, multiply 7, double it. Okay, and not just the sermons, but Monday through Friday. We average, our Facebook page for the church averages 6 posts a day. I get up every morning and I set out posts. I set them to go. I've had people ask me, well, you have to get on Facebook a lot to do that, don't you? Well, it's time consuming in the morning, but only in the morning. Okay? And I did that when I was working at the Salvation Army, when I was working at the hospital. You go on Facebook and you can set them up and go post all throughout the day. Okay? Through the Bible page. If everybody that went to this church that was engaged in that page would read the scripture and post their comments, we could reach multitudes. And I want to encourage anybody who may be listening to this message now online from our church Facebook page or from YouTube. I want to encourage you to share. Okay, this thing can multiply throughout the world. So it's not just about us. It's about doing good to all we can, Paul says. And at that point, I want to say this before I go any further. I don't want anybody here that's a part of this local church or even beyond our local church. I don't want you to think I'm beating you up for not doing this. Because I don't want it to come across that way. I don't want to beat anyone up for what they've got done. I can stand before you right now and tell you I could have done more. And I hope to do more. Okay? You don't need that. We don't need that. I don't need that. We have enough going on in our world right now to feel bad about. We don't need something else to feel bad about. But I do want to encourage you to share the gospel through the simplest, easiest means we have, and that's click. It's that simple. It is extremely simple. I want to encourage you, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever means you are, to step out of your boat. I want to encourage you to be a water-walking child of God. I want to encourage you to be a Star Trek Christian. You know what a Star Trek Christian is? One who goes boldly where you've never gone before. Okay? I want to encourage you. As a church, we must move beyond the old-fashioned mentality of us four no more. We must be explorers, adventurers, discoverers when it comes for doing good for the sake of the gospel and for all people. We need to be like John Wesley, who once said, quote, "Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as you can." I get tired reading that, yeah. So, good words from John Wesley. So he says, therefore, as we have opportunity, let us work for the good of all. Especially, he says, especially. And I love that because he doesn't limit it to the church, right? But then he says, there does need to be a power boost here. A little bit extra. If you're going to do good to everybody, that's good. I want you to do that. But especially to those who belong to the household of faith. As Christians, we are called to be doing good, which will involve us getting involved in the lives of one another. This is why the church is a team sport, okay? I can guarantee you, I know this, well, I don't know this about football so much or basketball or baseball even, but I do know this about musical groups, okay? You get a bunch of professional musicians together and they make it big. And oftentimes, sadly, in the world of professional musicians, drugs and alcohol seep in. And you know, the sad thing about that is there's always some people whose DNA, okay, genetic makeup makes them a bit more tougher. They can handle it better than others. And I guess before I go any further, I should make sure everybody knows I'm not advocating drug or alcohol use or abuse at all. But what inevitably happens is a lot of times you see members drop out of bands. Why? Because they got fired because their behavior outside of. I've read this so many biographies of bands where, you know, one of the members says, "Hey, we didn't really care what they were doing outside when we weren't playing because we were doing it too. But when it began to impact how they played, we finally had to let them go." Okay. Well, as a church, we need to be involved in one another's business, by the way. We need to care how one another's doing in their walk with Christ. It involves us loving those around us, not just with words, but with deeds. And Paul says, especially those in the household of faith. We really need to be concerned. If the world can't see that we love one another, and are there for one another, they're never going to be convinced that we love them. And sometimes this means confronting sin. But when we do that, we're to be dispensers of grace as well. Some years ago, there was a series of crimes against works of art. A man rushed through a museum in Amsterdam until he reached Rembrandt's famous painting Night Watch. Okay? I'm not even familiar with what painting that is. But he took out a knife and slashed it repeatedly before he could be stopped. A short time later, a hostile man